came to making the book, you mentioned drawing the bulk of it by hand, correct? Did you have the whole thing drawn and then started scanning? What was sort of your process?
Well, so I started by like basically, I think I have the verbiage done first, like the scenes, and
Mm-hmm.
then I break down the scenes. Like there's a time like I had like a bunch of like sticky notes. See, I still have some sticky note paper left on the wall. Yeah, I have like a bunch of sticky notes on the paper because like as you read the book, you realize like there's a lot of different characters in the book. So I had to give them a sequence of time that makes sense. So as you're reading it, you're not confused. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how that can happen easily because when you're showing so many different
Yep.
stories, different aspect of you can get like what's going on. Like so, I had to make sure like I distribute an amount of time per character. When the reader is reading it, they can be like, oh, okay, okay, like and so it can flow well on the pages. So that was probably the hardest part of the whole process to me. And after you do the verbiage, you like break down the scenes. Then after you break down the scenes, you kind of do like a rough draft of the drawing and the angles and what you're looking for and how you want the character to look like. Do you want the character to look sad, exciting, all type of notes. And then I usually like to sleep on those notes because like I don't want to run, I don't want to rush through it. I like to like take a couple of days, like a 24, 48 hours on top of it as I'm thinking about how I could do it better. And then after that, I actually sit down and draw it. And I actually have I had some help actually from my brother-in-law. I listed him on the page as an illustrator. He's he's helped me a lot with the drawing, so which is good because I could focus more on the actual like scenery and the actual verbiage and the actual like you know and also like another thing I like to do. Sorry, I know I'm overlapping here.
No problem.
It's like the process is so hard. Like it's so much. It's just like I'm like there's not. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no wrong or right way to like do it. It's just that's the way that works for me. You know what I mean? Another thing I usually do also I usually have for like a scene, right? For one scene, I usually have multiple like way that the scene could have went down, if
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah, like multiple revisions. So like that's another thing that I do. Like for example, the way that the Baxter Night part one, the way it ended, I had like I think four different way I ended it. And then I was like, that way wouldn't make sense, and then I'm like, it's very nerve wracking, but it's not. I mean, at least to me, it was not an easy process at all. So like, yeah, so I kind of like choose which scene is best, and then I make it. Then I draw it and then I like create it and make it happen. But he helped me a lot. Talking back about him, he helped me a lot. So that kind of like took some of the load off my back. You know what I mean? But it is still hard because like I read comic books, so comic books, man, like a team of people create comic, like stuff.
Yep.
It's not like yeah, it was a lot of work, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of work, man. But whew, but
Yep.
yeah,
Well,
just thinking. But the second one would be easier, and the drawings are actually even better because I got me a iPad
right
Pro.
on. Yeah.
I, yeah,
With
I
the
bought
the
an
pen and
iPad Pro.
everything, right?
Yeah, with a pen. Oh yeah, it's flowing better. The drawings are even better to way better because like illustrator got a habit of like taking your lines when you like scan a paper and
Yep.
you probably know that. So like with the pen, it's just like what I draw, that's what I get, which is perfect. And then I kind of like redesign the characters. Probably at the end of this month, I will post on Instagram and TikTok the characters look, and I'm gonna represent them again, which is gonna be cool. And then because my goal is to release the other book by the end of the year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was gonna be the next question. Good to
yeah,
know.
hmm so like it's the process, the drawing process of it. It's definitely better. But like I've spoke to a lot of people. I read the book and I've taken notes, my own personal notes, and there's a lot of things that we are currently improving and making it better. Because this is not something I want to keep doing this. I feel like I got a lot of story to tell, and I feel like I can communicate with people through my stories. So like I'm gonna keep this up. No matter what's going on in my life, I'll make sure I make time for it and to make it happen.
Perfect. Well, I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I highly appreciate the way in which you planned it out. It sounds
Mhm,
like you've definitely taken that background in the architecture, the planning that would go into that, the
mhm,
planning that goes into your work, and sort of gone, okay, what's the best story that I can tell to get across what I'm trying to say to people? And like you said, having four different endings and thinking, all right, for part two, this doesn't make sense. I'll get rid of that. There's three
yeah.
left, and sort of narrowing it down. It sounds like a very involved process, and I'm
Mhm,
glad it works for you.
yeah.
Clearly, it's a part of that. The way that you think helps
Mhm,
put it all together,
yeah.
and I mean, it's a fabulous book.
Yeah.
So for people looking to get the book, what is the easiest way that someone can get the book?
Well, the easiest way is to go on Amazon to get it. It's just make sure you put Baxter Night into Knighthood Part One, and you should pop right up. It will be the first one to. You can even put Baxter Nights, and I believe that hill pops up. So like that's the easiest way, and it's not like pricey at all. I believe it's like $6.99. As a
Oh,
matter of since
beautiful.
I'm here, yeah, since I'm here, I'm gonna tell you guys. Probably before the next one get released, I might drop it to $4.99 just so if people are interested, yeah, like because people like might want to read. I don't want people to read the second one, buy the second one, and not be able to because they are going to be connected in a whole different, you know, level. So like I want to be able to because like this is not about the money, believe it or not. This is more about me trying to like kind of expand myself. This is not about money right now. It's all about like reaching out to people, and like trying to like let it know and actually get feedback from other people. That's why after you read the book, I was eager to like talk. Remember, I talked to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's all about that right now. It's about outreaching to people, and especially the youth. Like that's one of the reason the boxing scene were not like that bloody, and I'm trying to reach out to like, the youth and like because like I feel like there's a lot of things in the book that they can take with them if they pay attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there is no way in which one you've done a very good job at making sure this is like all ages friendly. Yes, it's about boxing. Yes, there's fighting in it. There's very good coordination in the choreography of your fight scenes, by the way.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's also kid friendly. And I think a lot of kids, if kids read it, which I hope they do, to be honest, I think they can learn a lot from it, especially from your experiences and the way that you shared them.
Hmm.
And what I wanted to ask next was now that you've got the iPad and the pencil and all that, are you going to a complete digital platform? Or are you still gonna draw it, scan it, and then ink over it?
Oh no, there's no need to like yeah, there's no need to like go through the same process again. I say the purpose of me getting the iPad was like to save the time that time because like fixing those lines and cleaning up and Illustrator. You never know what you're gonna get. You gotta move the pixel back and forth. I'm pretty sure you get the idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I just straight up on the iPad and then like send it to my computer, and then do the wording and then like just down to the next one and actually do the lines as well and not the lines the frames and
Oh yep.
Illustrator as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
By the
so
frames, just to be clear, what you're talking referring to is like the breaks between panels, right?
yep.
Perfect. So I think that's super awesome, by the way, that
Thank you.
you've taken your process and gone, you know what? And I think that might have to do with how your current profession, where you've
Mhm.
gone, this is one way it worked, but it could be better. And I highly appreciate like
Yeah.
you reached out to me, and I have no doubt you've reached out to pretty well anyone who's bought your
Oh,
book
I did.
for
Did.
feedback.
100 more people. Man, I did.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Have you, when it comes to that kind of feedback, have you had the chance to speak with any other comic book artists or artists in general about the process?
Yes, I have. And they're all kind of like, some of them were like, oh, wow, okay, I kind of do the same. But some of them were actually very shocked because some of them, they go through like a longer process. And I just listen, I don't like, everybody got their own,
Yeah, we all have
too.
our own way of doing stuff.
Yeah, so like some of them went through like a longer process. Some of them they went to like they do the wording first, like the script first, yeah, and then but me, I'm like, I guess for me, I'm more like a visual person, so like I have to kind of like know what's happening. The fact that I think the fact that I have my stories written already kind of like help, maybe that's what it is. But like a lot of them, they do the script first. They like script first. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty. I mean, it's don't get me wrong. It's I think that's the most effective way to do it. But I guess like I said, like since my stories are already written, I already know the story. So like I guess it's kind of the same thing, I guess. But
Yeah, now you've got the
yeah,
whole thing written out, and now it's just a matter
yeah.
of, okay, how can I actually show this scene and show
Mhm.
that scene, right?
Yeah, and they have friends and they have like a team. They have like script. Oh, I'm in charge of the screen. That person's in charge of like the inking. That person is in charge of the cover. I'm like, oh wow, must be nice, man. I'm like, I did my own cover. Like, as a matter of fact, I designed the cover like at the end. I was confused. I had like, I think I had about like 5 or 6 different cover. I was like, yes. I was, oh my god. And and I don't know if you. Well, I'm gonna give you a little something here.
Please
If
do.
you to cover up, like there's a lot of some. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I'm very obsessed with like symbolic meanings and things. I mean, so if you look at the character on the cover, right?
Hmm.
Um, like on the spine of the book, there's a full knight, right? Like there's that knight armor here
Yep.
on the yeah, and then it's folded on the other side as well, right? If you turn the book around. Yeah. So basically, this is me telling the readers that like that's why I show half of his face. He's not his full potential, and the knight is who he needs to be. So like that's why
Wow.
it's for the knight. Yeah, the knight pattern is full, but his face is half. He's not his full self. So basically, that's my message. A little hidden message on the cover, if that makes sense to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think there's so much thought that you've put into your book, whether just from the actual story, that, like I said, the very real and true story that you've told here, and then the way that you've thought about this, the way that you've illustrated it, things you've put
Hmm.
on the cover. Clearly, this is a passion project, and
Hmm.
frankly, it makes me happy. I'm glad I could read it, and I hope other people go out, hit up Amazon, and get it from you, or contact you in some other way and get it. Uh,
Hmm.
you mentioned earlier, we talked about sort of getting feedback. Now, how you did that with me was over Instagram, and you're also on TikTok. Your TikTok is at Boxing Nights as well, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Perfect. And on your, well, frankly, on both platforms, there's all sorts of pictures, behind the scenes stuff,
Hmm.
really cool videos. I myself, I've gone through your TikTok and pretty much, I think I've viewed every video you've made. Uh, how have you found that social media is it like a gift? Is it a curse? How do you use social media when it comes to making your book?
I mean, gift and curse. Let's start with that first. I would say it could be both. It's how you use it. It's like power. Power can be a gift. It can be a curse. It's how you use your power. Like strength. Like me boxing, for example. I know how to. Like I know where to hit somebody. Like to hurt somebody. But like I'm not just gonna go out there and just like start trouble. And then it's how you use it. So I would definitely say to me, I use that in my advantage because you can reach out to people, look, you in Canada, like you
Yep.
just stumble upon a video. Exactly. You stumble, I never met you. I wish I have because you're a very stand-up guy,
Thank you
but
kindly.
yeah, we never, because I feel like me and you will get along. And you're a Batman fan. Oh my goodness,
Just
we'll
a little
definitely
bit.
get along.
Just a little
Just a little bit. I
bit.
think I don't
just
know, man. I don't
just a
know.
little bit. Got some drawings, some
Yeah, I don't
figures,
know.
toys.
I'm a huge Batman fan. Huge. Oh my God. But we're not gonna go there yet. So yeah. Yeah, I used them to my advantage. I mean, why not? Like I have friends on Facebook, I have friends on Instagram, and I know I have a lot of friends in the boxing world as well. So like, you can reach out to your friends, and then they don't have to buy the book. Like if I show you my Facebook messenger right now, you're gonna laugh. People cuss me out. They thought I was like a bot. Yeah, because I'm like, hey, how you doing today? They're like, get out of here. Like they think I'm like this fake. Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Yep.
it's me, Jacques. Don't worry. It's just like I just wrote that graphic novel, and then I'm just trying to like reach out to people. And some people, most of them actually bought it. Like
Hell
yeah, I have
yeah.
like teachers that bought it. Teachers from like Ohio. That's like the other side of America. They bought
Yeah.
the book. other classes. I have people in Canada. I have actually a fair amount of people in Canada that bought it. In France, I have a fair amount of people
No.
that bought it. Yeah, that is
Wait,
just
France?
you know, yeah. People they found it on TikTok.
Sweet.
I know it's like crazy, like because my videos before you saw that they didn't used to have a lot of views, and then that I don't know what I don't know if it was the universe like giving me a break, and then that one video where I actually opened the box and like show the books is the one that took over, right? And then
Awesome.
yeah, and then like because the other one they usually like 500 views, 300 views. That one was like I believe it's like at 197,000 views or something right now. Yeah, yeah. So like yeah,
Don't
exactly. Go
mind
check it
me.
out. No, go ahead. And I had, and if and you have to pay attention too, right? I have about like I guess probably like over 1,500 comment. I responded to every single person on the comment.
That
Yeah, I
is
made
a
sure.
labor of love, good
Yeah, I
sir.
made sure of that. I made sure you saw that, right? Like my videos don't get a lot of views. It was that one video like it just like blew up.
Yeah, I mean the bulk of your videos here, they've pretty well. I mean, your first one got like nearly 500. Awesome. Um,
Yeah,
the bulk of them, yeah, they sit somewhere between about 150 on the
400.
lowest end, and then
Yeah,
some of them are cruising right up to that 500 mark. One of
yeah.
them's actually two of them here are at 800. I'm gonna see if I can't. There's a real cool one here. Oh, I guess it's not
Yeah.
gonna show very well on
Oh,
the screen.
yeah.
That one's got nearly 2 grand. And then yeah, oh
Yeah,
my
it was like
God, sir. Yeah, this is the video you're. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna show up well. So that's your unboxing video.
yeah, the
Again,
one when
go
I'm
check it out at Boxing Nights, everyone. Um,
yeah,
that one's yeah, that's sitting pretty at just shy of 200,000 views.
yeah. So I was like, and it's the only one, is the most important one too at that.
I mean,
So
that's
like
the
yeah,
book, right?
yeah, yeah. And then from that one video, I got like a rock of sales. People just like, oh, I want it for my kids. And then I had people that bought it, read it real quick, and they'd be like, oh my God, and they come back to in the comment, like, oh my God, it was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. And then I told them if you liked it, please go on the Amazon website and then like put a comment, like put a review. And then yeah, so that was very helpful. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my motivation was came from like 100 to 110 at that time. I was like, oh wow, I really need to do this because like don't get me wrong, I was scared, man. Putting myself out there like that, like that's exposure. Like you
Big
like
time.
write something. It's not that I'm not like a veteran writer. I'm not like out there like writing things. That's not what I do. I just like for you to just like be like, here we go, world. That's here I am, exposing yourself like that and having that positive feedback. And don't get me wrong, I'm highly open to negative feedback as well, because like I am willing to make this better, and I want to make it better. So like I'm very like if somebody have something negative to say or like a critical comment, I would hear you out and I'll take notes from that. You know what I mean? So and getting all those like positive feedback, not from family member and close friends, like total strangers, that felt good, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really did.
Good.
So like yeah, it really like motivated me to make this to keep this up. So and that's what I will do. Yeah,
Right on. Well, Jacques, I think that you have probably the perfect mentality to be doing what you're doing.
I
Um,
appreciate it, man.
like there's a lot of people that when I've talked to. So I did an interview with two gentlemen named Jason Lapidus and Chris Sanigan, who wrote a book about like World War I. It's a cool
Hmm.
book. It's called Group of Seven. It might be something you
Hmm.
might like just to learn from. Um, and what they were mentioning is like one thing that made them good at what they were doing and made their book successful is they could take each other's feedback and actually implement it and not get offended because they've met artists and I've met artists that
Hmm.
whether it's a writer or an actual like an illustrator, an artist, that can't take that would read that and go, you're wrong. But you're already shaking your head. You've come out to
Yeah,
me when you buy you're at your book and one of your first things was like, hey, I need what did I do well? What did I not do great? What do you think about it? Um, so yeah, I think you are going to do really well, and I hope you keep making graphic novels. Like you said, number two
I
is
will.
coming out. the end of
Mhm.
the year.
Yep.
So please do keep it up. Like,
I promise I will. I promise I will. Guarantee.
awesome. Now, as I mentioned, so in your book, the some of the drawings that I've shown here, I'll grab another one.
Hmm.
Perfect. Here's actually a really rough scene. I imagine this may have actually happened with you, where your protagonist is dealing with that lack of contact with his father. It's a very powerful scene, but the line work here is, as people watching will be able to see, it's fairly thick line work. And one of the things that I sort of gave you as criticism even was with the medium you're working with, or we're working with, the thickness of those lines serve to take away detail. Um,
Hmm.
as mentioned, you've got the iPad now, and some of the drawings I've already seen on Instagram, and some of the stuff you mentioned to me, uh, that's basically getting better because your tools are better. How else has changing your process improved the art, the writing, your whole, well, I guess your whole process of creating? How has that been impacted?
Well, another thing, I'm back to work. So like
Mm.
I'm back to work now. So I'm working, around the clock
Boy.
sometimes. Yeah, on my break and but you know what? I don't know, man. I'm a very odd cookie when it comes to things like that. Like when things happen to me, I always find another way to like for example, when I'm at work, right? I don't know. I put my headphone on, I'm drafting, and then I don't know for some reason, like I'm focusing at work. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, there's a part of my mind that's like
Clicking away.
clicking away on the graphic novel, and then I'm like, oh, I could boop boop boop, and I just have a little notepad beside me, and I just write. I'm serious. I write like, and I date I date the note, and I write the note and what I can improve. I don't know. It's just even sometimes, right? I'm in bed. I'm not lying to you. I'm in bed. I'm sleeping, and I just wake up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I could do this. And then let me show you. I go to my. You got an iPhone, correct? I go to my
Well,
notes.
I'm actually on Android, but my partner they've got an
Okay.
iPhone.
So okay, so like there's like that note. I'm pretty sure Android got the same thing.
Oh
It's like
God,
a
yeah.
note. So look at my note. Like I just like go to my notes with my girlfriend. Sometimes she doesn't understand this. Those are all like notes that I take. That's between
Oh
all the one I'm
jeez.
showing right now is this month. Yeah, it's this month only. So like yeah, I'll be waking up at night and just write notes on my phone. Be like, oh, I can do this. I can do that. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. So like I don't know. I just like it's not about finding an easier way. It's just like I always find a way. I don't know. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's the way I was raised. I don't know what it is. It's just like I always find a way to like. I always look for a way to make things happen instead of like linger to like where I'm at. It's like I always expect something to happen. Basically, I'm like expect something, whatever it is, to happen, and I'm like preparing myself for whatever's happened. I'm always preparing myself to have a different plan if I don't already have one. So like when they call me for work, they didn't give me like time. Like oh, they called me on Friday and they wanted me to come back on Monday. So like, I just went back on Monday. And then I had a book bag full of notepad. I have like 20 notepads in my book bag, man. It's just yeah, they sometimes they walk by my like desk. They're like, what is going on with this dude? It's like I'm like losing my mind. But like, yeah, I wouldn't say that. So like, working between hours. Working when I come from home as I'm eating, I'm taking notes. Sometimes I'm at the store and then I get inspired by something that I see. Sometimes I'm outside and I see something that inspires me. Like for example, there's a scene in the book where like Prince met his best friend. The first time they met each other was like at the bus stop. This is a story that one of my buddies was like telling me about how he met somebody, and then I was like, oh wow! But they actually met on the bus, and I was like, oh wow! Can you imagine like? And then I'm like, it would be nice for the readers to know like those two, because those guys they're in the story together and going through the little adventures. So like it would be very nice for you guys to know how they met. And then also there's certain things that I wanted to show about Q's life within that little frame that I get to do as well. So like I find inspiration everywhere, and like I said, I'm always open for new things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not one side. I'm very like diverse person, man. I'm not like, yeah. I'm not like, well, this is this is that, because that's not what life how life work. But like going back to your question, the tablet. I mean, the biggest thing for me was because the stories are already written. It's a matter of me putting it together, right? So you know, the easiest thing, the best thing that could happen to me was the tablet because you can do so much with it. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah. So like it's the same process minus all the steps, and so it's easier.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
because you can go in digitally and just start drawing and go, you know what, I don't like that line, or you know what, this needs to be a little different, and yeah, instead of having drawn something out, erased it, drawn it back again, scanned it, re-ink
yeah,
over it. Yeah, you're frankly you're making your process efficient, which is
yeah. And
really cool.
also, if I see something that I like, I can take a picture of it and trace over it too. Y-
Yeah, you know what, that
You know,
actually, yeah, that leads into one of the questions I have for you. So a lot